Alright, we're back here again with our E-Series van. We're touching up our rims. This video is focused around paint job on rims and such. We painted some rims a while back. We painted these several years back. As you can see, we painted over chrome. And I made another video where I painted some Toyota rims and I showed you that chrome can be painted. We painted the Toyota rims, they were aluminum, but I showed you this 1-ton E-Series van. These are Cragar Soft 8 rims, which were chrome at one time. They're about $80 a piece, something like that. And Cragar starts rusting really quick, as you can see. So we've decided to freshen up the paint, and I tried to explain it. That the only paint I've ever had any luck with holding up for years at a time, which would be these rims right now, was this VHT Epoxy enamel. This is in a can, spray can. Now you could use something in a spray gun, it's probably better, but on the market right now this has held up the best by far for any rim. As you can see, I have some that were painted in 2013 on this truck, this mud truck, and they're still holding up, and those are aluminum. But anyway, on the E-Series, we traded out our trim rings. These have been in there a couple of years. We decided to put stainless steel trim rings. So we bought some of these on eBay. You can see they have metal clips for backing. These plastic ones served us pretty well. However, they give you like a warped kind of look if you don't shave off these plastic tits on here with a razor knife. You know, you gotta kind of grind those down a little bit with either a little grinder or a file, or what we used was a razor knife. We just cut them off and let the trim rings sit flush. But the plastic rings did pretty good, except they're building this corrosion from animal piss and stuff like that. So we're gonna put the stainless on after we freshen up the rim, and we're gonna do our center caps. We're going to get our Cragar center caps where we put a Ford sticker over it because we don't want to be embarrassed by Cragar. And then we're going to polish up our lug nuts and put those back on. So yeah, that's what this video is focused on. So yeah, there's the front spindle. We checked the bearings, they're good. And made sure the nuts were tight. They backed off over the years a little bit. And we're going to finish this rim and just put a little VHT on here. Here, pull this, and I'll just put a little VHT. Now, we heated this rim up a little bit with a blow dryer beforehand, which it probably got cold. We'll pause the video after we heat it up, and we'll come back while we're painting. Alright, so the purpose of the blow dryer is to draw the moisture out of the air around the rim, and also heat the metal up a little bit. So we got one can of this to freshen up 4 rims. Bring your camera closer so I can see the light. Okay, so in order to get an even sheen dry, we also use the blow dryer for that. It helps give an even sheen. Okay. You can kill the video for now. Alright, I'm going to do a second quick coat just to make sure the rim has got an even sheen to it. And we're not taping this rim up because we're not painting all the way to the surface. Trim ring's going to cover the rest, and it actually helps the trim ring because at least the outer edge is still chrome. Alright, so we got the rim wet all at one time. We got the wet look. Alright, you can feel it. Alright, so we're going to go with our trim ring now. Now, our trim ring is just going to go right over some of our wet paint already. Paint's still drying. It's gonna dry to like a satin finish. And obviously I'm not worried about the scratches that it's gonna produce putting this trim ring on. By the way, these trim rings are for like...
They're for Chevy, huh?
Impala. Like the Chevy Impala cop cars. Shit. Watch out. I always remember these clipped ones being a bitch. That's to put them evenly.
Flipping out that way.
Of course it is. Alright, we need to find a better way to get this on.
Here, we'll come back. Ready?
We'll get it on. Hold on. Yeah, you can hold it down. Alright, you bitch.
Alright, there we go.
Now, got a nice looking stainless steel trim ring.
Yeah, it
on
looks
here.
better than the other one, dude.
Yeah, well, let's see if it's even. It feels pretty freaking even to me. You can't tell me it doesn't look good.
Yeah, it's going to look good with a chrome hubcap.
It's better than a rusty ass soft 8, right?
Yeah.
This is what to do with your chrome rims after they start to rust. When the cat pisses on them too much, I mean, this is what you're looking at. And after that, I'll film it when it's on the truck.
That's pretty good.
Sure it does. Better than cat piss.
Yeah.
Alright. So we're going to polish up our Gorilla lugs, which got a little dirty, tarnished, and rusty. And we put some mothers on this, and we scrubbed at it for a little while. The center cap, which is a cheap Cragar center cap again. For some reason, Cragar doesn't like to triple chrome plate their stuff, so it starts to rust. So we're going to polish it with a rouge, a jeweler's rouge, which is this block, and you can pick this shit up at like Harbor Freight.
I think it's an $8 for the kit.
Yeah, and they use this to shine jewelry and precious metal and shit like that. But anyway, if you put a buff and shine on this, it'll take a lot longer to rust, as opposed to just trying to put a chrome polish on it. Because I'm actually buffing the steel, the chrome plate, and the rust spots out. So if you're still here watching the video, it's good, because I like to give you tips at the end of the video as a treat for people who actually watch the videos fully through. So this trim ring was a 16-inch trim ring, and there's a difference between this and 1.5 inches. This is considered a 2-inch trim ring. It really measures 1 inch 7/5. So it's 1 3/4 of an inch, almost 2 inch, but not quite. But they call it a 2-inch. So you're going to look up on YouTube, on eBay or Amazon. You're going to look up, or anybody else. For the plastic ones, you can pick them up for about $49 for a set of 4. Somewhere in that price range. Now, that's if you want to use the plastics. These served me for a few years, but you know, your cat piss and dog piss is getting to them and turning shit green. I got some that are uglier than this, but it kind of comes out, but not really. And then, like I said, when the wheels rolling, they kind of loblolly because they're plastic. I mean, so they're only good for so long. So that's for the plastics. Now, for the steel, for the stainless steel, which are these are about $100 or 80 to 100 for 4, and those are considered 2-inch, 16 by 2. By 2-inch thick, and they really measure the same thing as these, 1 inch and 7/5, inch and 1/4 and 3/4. But they make 1.5 inches, and it's a little skinny thing, and it doesn't look too good on these rims. It doesn't look as good as this trim ring looks on this rim. You want something that goes a little deeper. Now, for this kind of rim to fit on an E-Series van, note the lug pattern for this van is a standard. That means it's a 99 and down. It's a standard 8 lug. It's not metric, so it's 8 lug by
6.5.
By 6.5. Is that the distance between the furthest lug?
Yes, I think so.
Okay, so 8 by 6.5 is 99 and down. And 99 and some 2000s and up went to a metric lug pattern.
192 millimeters, some stuff like that.
192, 195 millimeter by something 8 lug. So don't be fooled by rims that look the same 8 lug, but they won't fit. Now, the maximum rim width and depth and all that I found that'll fit on an Econoline, the older Econolines, or anything from 2017 and down.
When they stopped making them?
Yeah, when they stopped making this body style. I know they still make the cutaways. The maximum rim width is 8-inch wide. So these are 16 by 8s, and they are 4.5-inch back spacing, which still gives you the stability of being a heavy load range. So these are 3,200 pound, rated for 3,000
per rim. Yeah,
per rim, over 3,000 per rim. So these are load range E tires, if you can find the load range. Now I know Mickey Thompson don't make this particular.
There it is.
Yeah, 121 means load range E. So when you look for that, or 118R is a load range E. So this is a heavy load range tire. You can go up to 80 psi, and it supports the weight of 3,100 and something change. And that's the kind of tire you want to go with on a 3/4 ton or a 1 ton vehicle with an 8 lug pattern. You don't want to go with any soft tires because, you know, curves and stuff like that, and they'll start throwing belts from experience. So stick with, you know, what you're supposed to go with. But I was able to fit a water tire, which is a 265/70 R16 without rubbing and without a lift. So that's the biggest tire I could get. The stock tire for this vehicle is probably about 29 inches tall. This tire is about 30.5 tall.
Yeah.
Brand new. So you can only go up about an inch on that without hitting the fenders on the inner fenders when you turn the wheel. So this is what it looks like width-wise on an E-Series. And it sticks out just a little bit, but not enough to chip your fender out from rocks. So you're good. And it doesn't look too doofy where it's kind of offset, you know. So I just wanted to point that out if anybody's got an old E-Series that they're trying to preserve because they don't make them anymore, this body style, and they're replacing them with those ugly looking European pieces of shit. Just in case, you know, you want to know what rim fits on an E-Series and the widest you can get. Now on the back of the E-Series you can go with a wider rim, as wide as you want, but the front is where it counts with the twin I-beam system. So 16 by 8 is the widest I could put on here without rubbing, and 4.5-inch back spacing is the right back spacing. So with that said, let me get started with my polish. Go after my lugs, nuts. It'd probably help to wash the shit off these lugs first with some soap and water before you go after them, because that's what that is. It's like a brake dust stuck on there, but after that we can get them to shine. You have to work twice as hard to get them to shine. And as far as this goes, pulling those rust pits out, and that was the idea, to give it a buff, was to get rid of those rust pits. And now I scrubbed this for a long time with mothers, and I couldn't get it off. I'm sorry, Never Dull. I used Never Dull on it and I still couldn't get it off. So anyway, we'll show the finished product when we're done. So we got our center cap now. We got our Ford emblem. It's kind of faded and the sun faded it. Now these little emblems we bought, they're little sticker emblems you can buy from you can buy them online, pack of 4 or pack of 2. I think they come in a pack of 2. They're about this size, about inch by 3, something like that. And they just cover up Cragar just enough not to be embarrassed. And we got some acetone. You could probably use carburetor cleaner and something else, but the secret is you take your rag and you stroke in one direction, like that, to bring the sticker back. Now what you're doing is you want to get another clean spot on a rag, and you want to stroke in one direction. You don't want to go back and forth. So all you're doing is rubbing the dirt back over it. You want to take the first layer of plastic off that's been sun faded. Now they won't look as good as the original when they come new in this package, but at least you'll be able to read Ford. It won't look funky like this. You do this, it'll last you a couple of years again. Unless you just want to go buy a new pack of stickers, that's fine. Now you got to give the plastic some time to dry because this stuff softens this plastic up pretty good. Acetone is equivalent to your wife's fingernail polish remover or your girlfriend's fingernail polish remover. It's the same thing that's in fingernail polish remover. But you can use carburetor cleaner, xylene, different chemicals. I already put a shine on, and that's kind of sticky, and you want to stay away from that. Okay.
Hubcap shiny.
Yeah, we polished all the rust off that. We think that'll last about a year or 2, as long as you don't use an abrasive chemical to clean your rims. If you're using a heavy-duty soap that's, you know, like Power Clean or Purple Power, or even some of the stuff they have at the car wash, that green shit that comes out of the car wash, engine and degreaser or whatever. You don't really want to do that. Use that abrasive chemical on chrome that's already been compromised, where the chrome is coming off. And I gotta say that decal looks pretty shitty from up close, but I guess from a distance.
From the camera, it looks good.
From a distance, it would look pretty good. I mean, at least you wouldn't see Cragar. I mean, they used to be good a long time ago, but since they started their chrome rim line, you try American or US wheel, and that's another cheap brand, but you try US wheel and you compare the chrome plating, you'll get 4 times as long out of a US wheel than you will a Cragar as far as chrome plating goes. For some reason, all the way since the 90s, every Cragar rust, and it looks horrible. So anyway, this is as good as we're gonna do this. I'm just gonna stick that in there and wait to put it on later. And after we clean our lugs out, we're soaking our lugs in some soap, and then we're gonna wipe them down, and then we're gonna polish them real quick. All right, cut. So after we got the brake dust off, we found it a lot easier to go at it with this wheel. And you can see we got a little bit more brake dust on there. You know what? That's what reverse is for, or forward. sit through this, so. Alright, that was our lock lug. Our Gorilla lock lug. As you can see, if you look at our trim ring from the side, come from the side angle view, it's not really warped up and down.
Nope.
So it's not like the plastics. So now you can show up to the job site. Be a nice looking rim as opposed to your cat piss rusty rim. And that's an older one which still looks good. It's just got the plastic trim ring and has that green tarnish on it from cat piss and dog piss. And you can see those plastic tabs back there, which I do not like. So we're going to take this rim off and do it too. Go all the way around. But anyway, that's the difference between the two.
Except it'll keep its shine for the most part.
Well, yeah, it's all steel now. There's no plastic on it.
It's stainless steel, so it won't. Yeah.
And like I said, those are Impala. Impala, the old Impala cop cars, the small Impalas with the 16-inch rims. Or maybe the SS Impala with the 16s.
Fit on a 16-inch rim, 16 by 8 rims.
Yep. You probably fit on a 16 by 7 stock Ford rim too. If you got a stock 16 by 7 Ford, you just got to get you a center cap, and that's it. And then get the long shank lugs. I think those are non-16s. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's 9/16. Wait, yeah.
Yeah, the threads are non-16s standard. Like I said, from 99 down, from 99 and up, or 2000 and up, it's all metric crap. All right.